The Philippine National Police is their turmoil at the top. PNP officials accuser and accused over so-called ninja cops, men in uniform involved in reselling confiscated illegal drugs. This is Politics as Usual. I'm Hontiveros. Well, joining us tonight on Politics as Usual, we're going to go first to former PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Chief and now the Mayor of Baguio City, Ben Magalong. He is joining us on the phone from Taguig. Mayor General, di ako sanay sa Mayor. Sir, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good evening, Pia. Good evening.
Sa sobrang haba ng araw po ninyo, napag-good afternoon po kayo.
Yeah, oo nga.
Oh, kamusta na po?
Very stressful.
You're stressed out right now.
Yeah, it was a very stressful day. And,
Okay.
But a very constructive meeting, engagement.
Well, sir, let's get rid of the stress by talking about that very stressful day. My first question, sir, when General Albayalde says follow-up lang sa status ng kaso at walang masama doon, how are we supposed to understand that? And I'm sorry, I'm speaking about the phone conversation, the phone call he made to General Aaron Aquino, who was then the regional director for the Police Regional Office 3.
Yeah, sometimes, I was just wondering why Director General Aquino came up with that statement when, in fact, he admitted to me that General Albayalde called him up and asked that the order for dismissal will not be implemented. But I understand him kasi alam mo naman na iniisip niya yung safety ng kanyang family. And at the same time, he's looking at the potential implication of, if he will simply admit that he did not do anything about the dismissal order, he did not implement it. So he was a bit conflicted, but I understand him. So, from what, insofar as I'm concerned, I would rather believe in what he said to me last week when he was not under pressure, he was relaxed. Kanina, nakita mo naman siguro, he was a bit stressed. Siya kanina, no? He was a bit uptight. Kaya siguro, medyo, inamin naman niya sa akin that he was a bit, he was a bit in a dilemma.
Yeah, dilemma and conflicted, those are the terms that you used just now. Conflicted was the term that Senator Dick Gordon used earlier today. General Aquino didn't volunteer that information until you brought it up and said, sabihin mo na yung sinabi mo sa akin. What made him, at the last moment, that moment that you said that, what made him say, what made him tell the truth in front of the Senate, in front of the senators?
Yeah, honestly, I was a bit frustrated kasi he was hesitant to reveal the truth. Nag-usap naman kami, and he was, during our meeting last week, he was really determined to tell the truth. Pero for some reason, kanya siya kanina, he was a bit hesitant, and he cannot come up with the right words to say what's in his mind. So, medyo ginising ko lang siya. Actually, nahiya pa nga ako kay Senator Gordon dahil I broke protocol. No? I was not supposed to do it.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to speak to another resource person. Yes.
Yes, I sent him a text message actually apologizing for what I did this afternoon or this morning.
All right. But then, eventually he did. But then he didn't say the entire thing, no? Hindi niya sinabi ng buo yung sinabi niya sa inyo last week. So medyo nag-hold back pa siya. What is he holding back over? Why?
I can only surmise. Probably he was thinking of, as I said, he was able to talk to his lawyer. Last week, wala naman yung lawyer, but when he was able to talk to his lawyer advised him na ito yung mga potential na implications niya. And at the same time, he keeps on telling me that, he was very much worried about the safety of his family and his own safety. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa kanya, pareho tayo, we're in the same boat here.
In the same boat. Oo. Well,
Yes,
speaking of his safety and that of his family, just a few days ago, there was that issue about his police security detail having been pulled out. And it just so happened na yung security detail na yon galing Pro 3. At ang naging dahilan, ang official na dahilan ng PNP na kaya daw na pull out, parang to prepare for the SEA Games.
Yeah. Alam mo, that's, I came from the PNP and I know how to, how to coin words to be able to justify the pull out of some troops from a particular VIP. Pero ang totoo niyan gusto mo lang i-pull out. So naghahanap na lang kami ng any legitimate na reason para lang palabasin na hindi naman ito related to sa issues ngayon.
Okay.
Pero the truth of the matter is, it's related to that issue. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So, Mayor Magalong, when General Albayalde says, mga tao ko yan kaya fina-follow up ko yung status ng kaso dahil yung mga pamilya nila nagtatanong sa akin and I feel the obligation to do that. Is that enough of a reason to make that phone call?
Pia, we don't usually say that. No? We don't usually say that na yung pamilya tumatawag. Hindi ganon. Hindi ganon. Pag nag-follow up ka ng status, ano yung status nito? Ano na nangyari rito? Bakit hindi mo in-implement? Diretsuhan lang. Hindi yung nagtatanong sa akin yung pamilya, kaya kailangan obligasyon ko na banggitin. When in fact, alam mo kung talagang you're a commander and you know that these people have done something wrong, gravely, it's a very grave offense. Hindi mo basta-basta gano'n na lang na parang nagiging considerate ka sa kanila. You mean really business na talagang direct to the point ka na hindi mo nasasabihin na dahil dito sa fucking pamilya. Hindi na. It's not something normal sa isang police officer and to someone who has a rank of a general na magaganon ka para ka malam. It's not normal.
Okay. Sir, so should it have been demotion or dismissal? Demotion kasi yung nangyari. Should it have been dismissal?
It's a great misconduct. And if you look at the gravity of offense, isipin mo, 160 kilograms binenta mo, pinatakas mo yung nahuli nyo, patapos kinuhanan nyo pa ng 50 million, around 50 million. And at the same time, you did not implement or execute the right way of conducting a anti-drug operation. Walang inventory, proper inventory. There was mishandling. If you look at the circumstances when they were leaving the house, they were in a hurry that nakita mo siguro kung paano nag-flow ay yung lumalabas yung mga shabu. Talagang ang intention nila is something, it's not right. It's just simply not right.
And that's why you told General Aquino earlier, this is a fight between right and wrong. Mayor Magalong, talk to us about the dynamics of the relationships among upperclassmen and underclassmen. We refer to this because you are all PMA graduates. Kayo po, General Magalong, class 82. Tama po ba? Si General Aquino, 85. Si General Albayalde, 86. Talk to us about that because meron ding sinabi si General Albayalde na kasi may gripes itong si Mayor Magalong sa akin, no? So, and gripes or griping, that is PMA cadet lingo. Griping po ba kayo kay General Albayalde? Tell us about how you deal with official police matters and how you deal with the fact that you are all PMA graduates and that you're upper class or underclass.
Alam mo, yung between classes, we respect each other. No? Maski na underclass ka. Pero nasa serbisyo na kayo nandun pa rin yung respetuhan. Hindi yung magiging imposing ka because you're an upper class. Tapos bigla mong i-pressure yung underclass mo. That's not the way to treat them. You have to treat them professionally. No? Pero in this particular case, ano bang pinag-awayan namin? Wala naman kami pinag-awayan. In fact, kung titingnan mo, si Oscar Albayalde was my former deputy when I was the operations officer of CIDG at that time in 1996.
Okay.
Tapos umalis nga lang siya after a few months. Umalis lang siya. Pero every time we see each other, parang kaming nagkukumustahan talaga. Ito lang issue nato sa drugs nato. Ito nangyari nato.
Yeah. Oo.
And wala siyang action na ginawa
Oo.
Doon talaga ako na nawalan ng tiwala sa kanya.
Mayor Magalong, talk to us naman about the dynamics of the relationship of yung underclass to upper class. So you have General Albayalde, Class 86, making that phone call to General Aquino, Class 85, and asking na, well, in so many words, wag nyo namang ituloy yung dismissal. Paano pa yon? Ano yon? Parang pakiusap ng underclass sa upper class? Ganun po ba?
Yeah, pero it should not be related to yung camaraderie sa PMA. It has nothing to do with yung brotherhood sa PMA. Hindi yun wala yun Alam mo, between two PMAers, karinyo lang yan nagkakarinyohan lang sila, nagkakayahan sila. Pero pagdating na sa mga ganyan na alam mo na there's something wrong, hindi mo ka basta-basta pwedeng sumunod na lang, basta-basta.
Why do you say...
Pero ka rin naman sarili panindigan, may sarili kang conviction You just simply have to do what is right.
So why do you say sila? Sir, air naman kayo.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Kami,
Ayoko naman i-detach yung sarili ko, no? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, kami.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, Pia. Yeah.
Sir, last 2 minutes na lang po. Pero what were you thinking when President Duterte last year announced that he was appointing General Oscar Albayalde as Chief PNP? Given that you investigated this case.
Ako, iniisip ko lang na, siguro hindi alam ni Presidente yung background. Hindi niya siguro alam yung itong insidente na to.
Okay.
I'm just referring to this incident. Itong issue na to. Yun lang.
Right.
Yun lang ako.
Okay. And my last question, what do you say to the statement of General Albayalde when he said that when you were DIDM or hindi po ba Directorate for Investigation and Detection Management Chief, bakit hindi nyo in-implement yung dismissal order? Yun yung sinasabi niya paulit-ulit kanina sa Senado.
I'm glad na binanggit mo yan sa akin. As Deputy, as Directorate for Investigation Detective Management, you are, from a helicopter point of view, you're looking at the investigative programs of all your line units. Hindi ka pwedeng yun lang ang tututukan mo. Although, makita mo naman siguro yung effort ko. Maski tanungin nyo kay General Pero, ilang beses ko pinalo up yung kumusta na yung case sa NPS. Ano na nangyari? Paano natin ipapastrak yun? Pero yung pagdating na doon sa administrative case, meron namang mga humahawak na ng mga regional directors yan. Bakit ko papapakilaman? Diba?
Okay. And of course,
yes.
And Mayor Magalong, of course, this is happening just a month and a half before General Albayalde retires.
Yes. Unfortunately, if you remember, I did not volunteer to go to the Senate. And besides, I was just answering the queries, the questions of the senators. If I don't answer their questions, I might be cited for contempt. Hindi naman scripted yung mga tanong namin Everything was very spontaneous.
Okay.
So, kung may naisip sila na meron kaming scheme, meron kaming plano, lahat yan, that's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true.
All right. Mayor, former General Benjamin Magalong, sir, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Salamat po, sir.
Thank you, Pia.
We're taking a quick break. Politics as usual. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Politics as usual. Joining us on the phone from the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 2, where he is seeing President Duterte off on his trip to Russia, is PNP Chief General Oscar Albayalde. General Albayalde, thank you very much for joining us. I understand you've had a very long, very tense day. How are you doing at the moment, sir?
I'm fine, Pia. Thank you, and good evening to all the televiewers.
Okay, sir, so was it intervening or just following up the status of the case? I refer to your phone call. General Aquino.
Okay, General. Yeah, of course. It's just a query of the status of the case. Remember, I can intervene, Pia. No, number one, Aquino is my upper class. You know that. Your husband is a PMA, no? That is very unlikely of an underclass to do. And
hindi pwedeng mautusan, sir, hindi pwedeng mautusan or masabihan ng underclass yung upper class, ganun po ba?
I'm just doing a favor, of course. No, may mga family ito mga tao. Of course, as a commander then, they would ask about the status of their husband's case or their father's case. The most that I can do is to ask the status to RD Aquino then. No, but never that I could influence or said anything out of that context and review. It's because, number one, Pia, no, let me make one thing clear. During the time of General Aquino, when he was the RD, remember that case is under MR. Remember, on March 14, if I'm not mistaken, March 12 or 14, they filed a motion for reconsideration. As the records show. Of course, you will consider due process will tell you, no, even in court, when you make a motion for reconsideration, it will go through process, and that will take time again, no? That's a normal thing, Pia. That's a very normal thing.
So
my question, yes.
So
my question now is, why do they have to wait until March 16? I think my question is valid the way I ask it. It turned out now that those people have dismissal way back 2014.
Okay.
Why do they have to wait 2 years?
So
why did he implement the dismissal between 2014, 2015 until 2016, Pia?
Okay, so hindi po totoo yung sinasabi ni Mayor Magalong na you wanted more than a review.
Well, palagi naman yun sinasabi niya, di ba? Marami siyang sinasabi na according to me, according to them, and according to him. Di ba? I don't want to, parang magpalitan lang ng ano rito. No? I think the people will understand on what he's saying because he is what he's saying. So, ayoko magpalitan lang na salita. I think it's very obvious, no? Na siya ang magsasalita para dito at ito sinabi niya in the name of what? In the name of love of country? My God.
Okay. Pero sir, hindi naman po kayo sumabit dito sa investigation na to dahil ang inimbestigahan lang po sina Major Baloyo and the lower ranking officers kasi hindi kayo inimbestigahan. As a matter of fact, the only thing quote unquote that happened to you was nirelieve po kayo.
No, the manner kasi the way Mayor Magalong is saying is parang he's insisting na nililink niya ako, di ba? That's the worst part, di ba? Yung parang meron pa akong kinala. Well, kung sabi ko nga, he had all the time, Pia, no? General Magalong then, he was the chief of CIDG and I was floating. I was made to float for 7 months. Ang tanong ko, why was not I charged for anything? When he had all the power, he had all the influence, when he had all the time,
so you're saying,
and he was the DIDM.
Sir, so you're saying, kung sumapit talaga kayo doon and there was real command responsibility or meron talaga kayong sabit doon, dapat sinama kayo sa kaso?
Yes, of course.
Pero hindi kayo sinama.
Yes,
Okay.
Not whatsoever. And let me add, no? The General Gerlan mismo. The General Gerlan was the regional director then.
You're speaking of Manuel Gerlan, sir?
Yes, Manuel Gerlan, the Deputy Regional Director for Operations. He was the one who was tasked by then General Petrosanta to look into it. And he said, I think, this afternoon, na he clarified that I had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Sir, for pag may ninja cops, is demotion or dismissal enough?
There should be a case, Pia. There should be a case, criminal, and if they be found guilty, they should be dismissed from the service, of course. But these people, they underwent due process. Pia, remember.
Sir, so you're saying, kung sa criminal case, convicted sila doon, that's the time na dismiss sa serbisyo. Yun ang sinasabi nyo. Hindi yung magka-administrative case tas dismissal.
There are even times, Pia, that we dismiss our personnel even before the dismissal, even before the resolution of the criminal case. But one thing, sometimes, when the criminal case is dismissed, there will be a court order to reinstate these people with full back pay. That's the problem sometimes, Pia.
Okay. Sir, kanina sabi ni Senator Bongo, wag niyong pagtakpan, you should go after these people. What were you thinking when he said that?
We are not, no, Pia. Alam mo, I don't know what I still have to say to the public or to the Filipino people in our effort in cleansing our rank. Sabi ko nga, I don't know if it's even given a weight na we created na nga yung aming sinatawag na Integrated Monitoring Enforcement Group, which we made as a national support unit, which will go after these scalawags in uniform.
Oo, okay. Inere po namin yung hearing, so nakuha po namin yung puntong yon. Sir, nag-usap ba kayo ni Presidente na tonight?
No, not yet.
Hindi
We're
pa.
still waiting for the President to arrive.
Okay. Sir, do you now regret making that phone call?
Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Okay.
Why should I regret it? I did not ask for anything. That's just a favor to the
Sa mga
the
tao.
families. Remember,
Okay.
these are families. Yeah, they have families. These policemen have their families also.
So you would have done this whatever the circumstances. You would have made any phone call to follow up the status of a case of your men.
Of course, yeah. And not even my men, no? Not even my men. Kahit nga hindi ko tao, you know, I'm extending. Even I'm the chief, no?
Yeah.
But never did I, kahit na ngayon, kahit na ngayon, even if I ask people or even my underclass, only on the status, never did I influence anybody.
Okay. And finally, sir, my final question, and hopefully a brief answer from you. This is, well, sad in a way. This is happening just a month and a half before you are scheduled to retire. I mean, we came from Baguio over the weekend. There was that testimonial parade for you by the cadet corps of your alma mater.
Well, I do not know, Pia. There might be somebody here who would not wait for my retirement. I really don't know. I really don't know, Pia. You tell me, because your husband is in the PNP. He might know something.
All right. General Albayalde, sir, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Pia. Yes, thank you very much.
Salamat po, sir. We're taking another quick break. Politics as usual. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Politics as Usual. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Speaking to us live now from the Senate is our correspondent, George Quiles. George, you heard what Mayor Magalong, former General Magalong, and General Albayalde were saying earlier. Given the facts of the case and as a longtime police reporter, George, should it have been dismissal or demotion as what had happened?
Well, Pia, based on the pieces of evidence presented in that particular administrative case, in relation to that questionable operation in Mexico, Pampanga. Well, first and foremost, in 2014, then RD Petrasanta found that dismissal is necessary given the weight of or the gravity of the offense committed by these 13 people. But 3 years after, RD Corpus eventually downgraded the penalty to just demotion. This is something that senators were surprised earlier because of the weight or the gravity of the case of that happened during that time. But of course, they were talking about technicalities earlier. They're talking about the aggravating and the mitigating circumstances. And of course, this is something that we need to look at. And even the Senate will look for in the next hearings. Okay,
George, talk to us about that phone call that General Albayalde made to then PRO3 Regional Director General Aaron Aquino to ask about, he said it was an innocent phone call to ask about the status of the case. General Magalong has a very different interpretation. Talk to us also about that phone call and the dynamics among upper class and underclass, mga graduates ng PMA, mga PMAers.
Actually, Pia, we sought comment from Senator Gordon about that phone call earlier. He said that for him, it is inappropriate given that the case is still ongoing. So for a person, for the former boss of these individuals, these police officers involved in that particular case, he said that it is inappropriate. But in a sense, command responsibility among policemen is really tight, or this is important to them. That's why if we go back to that case, Albayalde was administratively relieved from his post because of command responsibility. And this is something that is important. If you do something good, well, if you're subordinate of this particular particular officer, if you do something good or if you do something bad, it reflects to your performance as an officer. And this is definitely important to them. Now, your question pertaining to PMAers, of course, the lower class, no, among PMAers, they give respect to their upper class men, and that's certainly a you call a culture amongst PMAers. But of course, we see also the possibility that like what happened to General Bato de la Rosa. He was a PNP chief. He was class 86 that time, and many of his upperclassmen were his subordinates. So somehow they show this professionalism in a sense that they need to perform their jobs, even though an upper or a lower class is your boss.
Okay. George, also, Senator Bongo said earlier, wag niyong pagtakpan, you should go after these people. Can the PNP do that?
Definitely they can do that, like what General Albayalde told us earlier, that they have mechanism to monitor these people who have cases. But that's another thing, if they're given key positions in the PNP, while we know that they have pending cases, or if they were already penalized in the past because of their wrongdoings in the organization. So, like they have this newly formed group, this IMEG, wherein they follow or they monitor the activities of scalawags, and that is something, monitor, and at the same time they arrest those erring policemen. They carry out sting operations against them. That's why if they do something bad, they say that people can always report to the police, so that they will no longer stay in the service. Pia.
Well, of course, George Cahiles, thank you for that report. This is, of course, very interesting timing, for lack of a better word, because in a month and a half, General Albayalde is retiring. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, you were in Baguio at PMA, the alma mater of General Albayalde, and the Cadet Corps there rendered a testimonial parade to honor him, because he is going to be retiring very soon. So thank you very much. CNN Philippines correspondent George Cahiles reporting live from the Senate. And thank you for watching Politics as Usual. I'm Pia Hontiveros.